There's nothing in here. Adam, you said that there was a issue out here for us.
Yeah, what gives, dude? Come on.
There may not be a letter in the mailbox, gentlemen, but the letter is inside of me.
Inside?
You're saying that the letter is actually in your body.
The issue comes from within.
Well, I guess we got to do what we got to do.
Ben, I've got a glove for you.
Oh, yep. Yeah, there we go.
Wait. Are you trying to physically extract it from me? It was a metaphor.
That's right. What the?
We're getting fixed, our worries are mixed. Let's have some cake. What the Grawlix say? We're getting fixed, our worries are mixed. Let's have some cake. What the Grawlix say? We're getting fixed, our worries are mixed. Let's have some cake. What the Grawlix say?
Nothing ventured, nothing gained. Words that the Grawlix has always lived by, and that's why it's only fitting today we are very excited to announce our partnership with FanDuel, the best place to bet on sports, play online games, and build your team. Moving forward, you will be able to bet on who wins the competitive advice segment, but also live pop-up prop bets during the episode. The Grawlix likes to live on the razor's edge, and so do you, and that's why we are very excited to launch this in-podcast betting app. This is the Grawlix Saves the World. My name's Adam Caton Holland.
My name is Ben Roy.
And I'm Andrew Orvidal.
And we are here to play with you guys. Just listen, you'll hear a doodle-doot, and it'll pop up, and that is a opportunity to kind of experience this podcast full tilt. You know what I mean? Really optimize the podcasting experience. Parlays, play with your friends in different states. It's a lot of fun. I'm excited about it. Are you guys feeling good about it, or?
I think whatever tall glass of creatine runs FanDuel would roll over in his fucking grave if he knew that they were offering sponsorships to our cuck faces.
And that was one of the things you can bet on. Ben disparaging the sponsor within first 2 minutes of the pod. So if you bet on him doing that, you just got paid.
What's the
time.
over-under on a dick joke in the first 5 minutes?
I don't really even know how odds work, but I
Me
know it's
neither.
high.
But I know that there's a term called over-under, and that's why I used it.
I think the over-under is a 4. Is that
okay?
Well, I'll tell you that's not bad, and I'll throw some chalk on that one. I'll sprinkle the underdog on that one if I can.
Now, you guys at home, you're asking
sprinkle the underdog? Now that's not a term.
Tickle
Yes,
the underdog, sprinkle the top dog.
Sprinkling the dog means that you're putting a little bit of money on the underdog there.
Exactly, and people are worried that there's going to be some sort of conflict of interest. We're going to be betting on ourselves. We're going to be racing to the dick jokes to help people who've bet on that. We're not.
No.
This is as pure as the driven snow.
Guys, I don't want to interrupt these sweet riffs that you both are butter churning out right now.
Sure.
Oh shit! I had a prop bet, $500 on a Pioneer Museum reference. Oh my god,
Andrew, that's a payday! Ding, 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 ding,
Oh,
ding,
that
ding,
pays
ding, ding, ding.
7-1 odds, big boy. You just walked away with a cool Benjamin out of that one, buddy. And they always pay up, so this is going to be huge for you.
Good stuff, fans.
No, this is a big deal. We have located producer Ron's pod. It has been found. It has been retrieved. It was at the bottom of a dump in Guatemala City. Somehow it was fully submerged in trash.
It was that sinkhole. I remember it from years ago. It swallowed entire city blocks, and Ron's pod just rolled
right
into
it. It's crazy to me.
Oh,
but
dear.
We are currently extracting it right now with some heavy equipment. We've got a bucket loader. As you can see, there is a crane there. You can hear some of the men from New York yelling.
I'm distracted. I'm distracting
We
it.
gotta get this fucking thing out of the hole.
they're catcalling it.
Did they independently hire New York construction workers?
They
to
hired the official
Guatemala?
New York dig team. Yes,
They
12
brought them
guys
there
from
for the
Queens.
extraction process. Got it.
Yes. This is a big deal, and it's not a small operation. As you know, our pod is quite heavy, as it is lined with titanium steel. I don't think that's a thing.
Two different metals.
Steel. The old TS is the chemical symbol for that.
Yeah, which is always being mistook for something else. But guys, I am so happy. Here it comes. Over here, guys. Bring it over here. Set it down in front of us. Ooh, it is beat up. I sure hope producer
There's probably
Ron
like
is
a little
all right.
skeleton inside.
It's also glowing hot, as if from the Earth's core. You know what I mean? It's
he
a
got
very
down there. You can hear
Holy
it sizzling.
smokes.
Do you hear it?
You could put an egg.
Sizzling.
You could put a Ben. Hand me that egg you've got.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah,
crack it.
yeah.
Throw an egg on there and listen to it sizzle.
Listen to that.
Dibs on that egg. Dibs on that egg.
Dude, you can have it. Wow.
All right, well, let's...
Give me that bacon too.
Yeah, let's
okay,
throw some
one
bacon on
strip, then another.
Well, now that we're cooking breakfast on the outside of it, let's go ahead and crack the door open. Oh my God, he's alive inside. Producer
Why does
Ron.
it smell like bacon out here? What is going
Why?
on?
Because we're worried sick about you. Have some of this bacon. Eat some of these eggs. Ron, you are fucking clocking in at 66 pounds. What is going on?
apparently I've been in New York and Guatemala City and Rift City all at the exact same time, defying space and time.
In addition
And
to
it's
all
exhausting.
over the world, young man, we have
It's
been
exhausting.
missing you. We have been missing you
Oh
on this
my
pod.
God.
Where the fuck have you been?
Oh, Andrew.
I don't know. I'm
And-
inside. There are no windows in this thing. I can't tell where I am.
Well-
I just go where it rolls.
What the fuck have you been up to, man?
Yeah.
Well, most recently I've been Googling whether or not sprinkle the dog is a real gambling term, and no, it's not.
Yes, it is.
We
Watch
have
the
missed
UFC.
you.
Johnny the Greek says it all
We
the
have
time.
missed you.
And he knows more shit than you do, you bum fuck. Why don't you get back into your pod and let us have our pod breakfast the way we should have? You piece of shit. You come on, I'll find out what it means. I'll look it up.
Easy,
I'll find out what it means. No, I'll find out what it means.
This
I'm
was
not
not.
gonna be-
I was
I'm
not. I was not encouraging you to get on your phone again, Ben. I was just noting that
he
I
needs
Googled
no
it.
encouragement. And by the way, if you had that bet that Ben would be on his phone within the first 15 minutes of the show, congrats.
Yeah,
Congrats.
if you ever had a
Also-
prop bet on Ben looks at his phone, boy, those odds are zero.
Sprinkle refers to the practice of placing a small wager on multiple bets in order to spread out the risk. When you
Okay.
sprinkle the
Ben,
dog,
no
you
one
are sprinkling
cares.
a little bit of money on the underdog, you fucking pussies.
No, listen,
Why
well,
don't you watch a
Ben-
real man sport
Ben,
for
this
once in a
fan
while?
duel has got you talking
When
not like yourself.
When I Googled it, I got an adorable photo of a dog with sprinkles on its nose. Not exactly the same thing.
Yeah, I pictured like a dachshund that got into the powdered sugar.
Anyway,
Lots of that. Lots of
Producer
that.
Ron, I'm sorry that we started it off so heavy on you.
Yeah, let's
I
take
am,
it down a notch.
I am very happy to see you. And I've got to say, despite the fact that we had no idea where you were located for months, I will say that the podcast episodes have been coming out as planned
On time.
and they are amazing. And so your ability to work through a paucity of food and water and light is truly wonderful and
For sure.
should be applauded. We're not going
Commendable.
to
Your use
applaud
of
it.
paucity
We're
was
pressed
very nice.
against the time. We're pressed against the time constraint, so we're not going to applaud it today.
Nope.
But I
At
feel
home,
like
if you're
it-
listening, you applaud.
you applaud.
Thanks.
That's it. And so what have you truly been working on? You have this other pod.
In reality, I've been working busy on another. Well, for a while I was working on High Plains Comedy Festival, but I've also been working on another podcast this whole time.
You harlot!
Very deep,
Andrew. Andrew.
We said we were going to let him have the floor for a minute.
like an investigative journalism podcast.
Do you want to say what the name of this podcast is? Because it's kicking ass and doing quite well. Tell them the name of this pod.
It's called Master Plan. It is about how corruption has become legalized in the United States. These journalists that I've been working with have uncovered literally a 50-year conspiracy in the United States to legalize corruption. So yeah, it's been wild.
Wait. Ron, is your life in danger right now?
I am absolutely on an FBI list now. There is no question.
Have you like unlisted your address? Holy shit, dude.
No, I have not. But it is wild to think like there are senators talking about this podcast, which is
Ron, get down!
wild.
Ron, get down! There's a shadow in the curtains behind you! Oh, never mind. It was a crow. It was a crow.
But Andrew, thanks for being on high alert, dude. I appreciate it.
Thanks for being
I'm
alert.
Sure, Ron
Yeah.
does too.
Yeah, I'm gonna be on high alert for the rest of my life.
Yeah, we're almost done with this first season, and I'm very excited for it to be over. I'm tired. I'm excited to be coming back to this podcast and spending more time with you fellas. I've missed you a lot.
Very cool. We're proud of you.
Go check it out. Producer Ron does do amazing work, as you've heard, because you do not know the stream of consciousness dog shit that we feed him each week, and he manages to make it sound cohesive. So
yeah, and for listeners of this podcast, I did convince the other podcasts to sneak in one Magic of Podcasting into one of their episodes, just as a little nod, a little Easter egg for the GSTW
So if you're
listeners out
betting
there.
on producer Ron stealing a signature of this pod to take to another pod to win awards, congrats, you just cashed in big.
Also, thanks for lumping it. Now our lives are at risk. It's not going to take the world's greatest detective to follow these breadcrumbs.
NSA,
You
Mr. and
signed our
Mrs.
death
NSA, I did not know that he stole that.
We're on the side of the bad guys. We're on
I'm
the bad
pro
guys side.
corruption, and I've always said
Love
that.
corruption.
Drill,
Love-
baby, drill. That's what I
Legalized-
say.
Yeah.
If I got money, why can't Clarence Thomas have it? If I got money, why can't Clarence have money?
I didn't think Marion Barry was a bad guy.
It's called hustle. It's called hustle.
I thought he
And
was trying to stay awake to do
I
more
think
jobs.
we've covered our tracks. Producer Ron,
I missed
very
you guys
glad-
so much. This is great.
I'm very glad that you're here, Producer Ron, truly. And I'm glad that you have sort of explained your absence because you must have been very busy this whole time, multiple plates that you've been spinning. That's something that I have been dealing with lately. And I wanted to turn to you guys and get your advice about something that I've kind of having to deal with for the first time.
Let me just
For the first
adjust
time.
my microphone. I've wanted to dive into you so bad, Adam. I've wanted to get my hands inside you for years, Adam.
My preferred
And-
method of entry is crashing into me, Dave
Oh,
Matthews.
I'll do it. I'm tripping Benny. That's
There
what
you
they
go.
call me.
Well, so people don't know because we haven't talked about it on the pod, but maybe it's come out and you've seen it. But I'm making a movie. You guys have known this for a long time, but now it's actually happening. By the time this comes out, I will be on set making a movie. It's based off the book that I wrote. I'm thrilled. I'm be in Atlanta filming a movie for 5 weeks. That is awesome. But that has come at a time when I've got all sorts of other stuff going on. And a few weeks ago, when it was High Plains time, I had High Plains going. I had a number of things going on for this movie. You guys didn't even know, I got cast in this other little indie film. It filmed in Denver. I had to memorize these lines real quick, do them the next day. It was all coming to a head on one day. And I was just stressed as fuck. And for the first time in my life, I think I experienced kind of a panic attack.
What do you?
It was so
okay.
It was so strange.
Can I? I'm going to put on my. As you guys know, everybody, please step aside. This is sort of my world. It's where I live. It is how I operate, Adam, and I think you know that. I'm having a panic attack right fucking now.
Well, that's kind of why I brought it to the pod because I know that about you, and I know that,
Andrew.
Andrew, and I know that Ron is also somebody who's had a lot of stress.
Yeah.
It's
but
a
it was
side
crazy.
effect of not being a droid like you are. So here's the thing. I think it just means you're coming into puberty. Now, your body is going
Save
to
it
do
for
a
the
lot of
act,
weird.
second act.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, yeah. Let's talk about it. I take it you're coming to us because you want me to come over.
Here's what's going on. I had this panic attack. And as someone who's gone through panic attacks, you're very, very flippant about the experience. For someone whose hair I've held on set several times. You're acting surprisingly flippant. I thought I could not blast the earnestness horn, but apparently that's something that you can't handle today.
You know I'm going to get fucking earnest when I talk about
And
this.
I can't wait for whatever dog shit that will be.
Oh, I'm your fucking key out of this mess. You want my help, bud? You want my help?
I'm gonna
Do you
ask
want
for
my
specific help. I'm gonna set the stakes for the specific help of Act 2.
You know what I feel like? I feel
Let's
like
do
you're
it.
hanging over the edge of a fucking cliff right now, and I'm putting a weathered, fucking calloused hand with chalk on it. Somebody who's clearly climbed their whole life, and I'm reaching over and I'm saying, "Yeah, you're going to take a few knocks on the face, but I'm
Adam,
going to get you
fuck,
up over
forget
this."
that hand. I'm coming up below you in a bucket loader. I've got
Hell
tea
yeah.
and scones. Simply
yeah.
Oh, you want tea and
step into
scones?
my bucket loader.
Or do you want a professional hand? That's what you want.
Well, we'll see. Because
I'm just gonna give
I'm
you
gonna hear your
regular advice. Is that okay?
I'm
Can
going
I
to hear
just-
your advice. But can I lay some parameters for this advice? Here's what I'm looking for. I'm going tomorrow to start filming this movie. 5 weeks, every day, on set, writer, producer, working my ass off. I can't do the typical anxiety relieving. You know what? I can't get through this. So fuck it. This is the episode.
No, I'm kidding.
Oh wow, we got a mic drop. Ben, you know he's anxious right now, and he's like very nervous about this. And
Ben
you
was
won't
making me
stop.
laugh by pretending
Just,
to fake smoke, and I
guys,
regret it.
You're-
Fuck
you're
off.
fake-
I am always
sorry.
the one
You're
that's having
fake.
problems. I'm always the
Adam,
one
we're
whose
just
nerves
so
are.
happy to have you aboard the SS Anxiety.
Yes,
This-
exactly. You know what it is? I imagine it's like Vietnam. When they showed up, they were terrified. The people that were new, and they were the people that were already in a circle, smoking a joint, having a laugh at all of the terribleness happening around them because we've been in the war for a while. So that's all that you're saying.
All right, that approach sense that I can follow. So here's what I'm saying. I know what you guys are going to say about stress relief and anxiety. I know you're going to say, go to therapy, work out, breathe, meditate, all the sort of easy and reliable methods that we all know. Here's the other thing. I'm on set all fucking day, 12-hour days. You guys know them. Then I go home, probably sleep, do it again. So I don't have long periods of time where I can zoom in with a therapist or zip out and jog. I'm working all day, every fucking day. So my questions for you three, two of whom I've worked under such conditions with and who I know the stress levels. And Ron, I know how much stuff you take on all the time and all these balls you keep in the air. How do you avoid the anxiety, defeat the stress under those working conditions? Fucking practical tips I can use the next 5 weeks as I make a movie.
That sounds great.
All right.
I think we have what, and a lot of people are going to say that was a hard edit because Ben's tone totally changed. No, I'm manic. There was no cut there.
Yep. I'd say you're
And-
bipolar, and you made the switch.
I
You-
did.
We watched.
And
we
I was
watched-
going to
Sometimes
say, you seem
the
pretty
switch-
coked up today. And
The switch is pretty good. I've had a great weekend. So let's do this. Why don't we take a quick break? Why don't we pay some bills here? For those of you that want to help keep the lights on at the Grawlix condominium that we are all currently living in right now
Sort
because
of Melrose
Ron is back.
Place situation.
3, you make me live in a pod instead.
Underneath the condominium.
There's an extra bedroom in the condo, but you don't let me use it.
We might have a guest.
It's a guest room, Ron. And you're
It's
not
at
a guest.
143rd
That's
and
family.
Federal. And the four of us are living here. If you want to help keep the lights on, check out our Patreon page, patreon.com/Grawlix Saves. If you are a subscriber, you don't have to listen to these ads that are coming up. You get ad-free episodes. You get a full episodes of Boy Crazy. You get the fourth act. So please, if you can, support us. Otherwise, we're going to go to a commercial break. And when we return, we're going to help Adam with his problem of being a pussy. Stay tuned.
Wow.
We are back through the magic of FanDuel. You have been able to reload your bets for the second half. There's a whole new fresh slate of opportunities courtesy of the good folks at FanDuel. So make sure your Venmo and credit cards are linked to the account. Again, we cannot honor any bets unless your credit card, Venmo, Zelle linked to your Grawlix Saves the World account. 15% discount off bets with the code GSTW FanBets with Z's, 2 Z's, and a cash symbol. Yes,
Adam. I haven't seen the contract or the paperwork or.
Oh, that's okay, Ron. There's a lot of things you haven't seen when you're away for 7 weeks. But a lot of things move around here because
this
you're
was
not
a handshake agreement.
Exactly.
Yeah. You can't just come back from fucking around in a sinkhole and think you're going to have all the information.
Nah.
You know what I mean? That's
things move fast around this podcast.
Okay. All right.
Look at Ben's vape. Isn't it nicer than the one that he used to have? That was just a gift these dudes gave him. Yeah. Straight up. They didn't even ask for anything.
I think I'd be more excited about this fake sponsorship if it were a real sponsorship. Can we talk?
What's fake? What's real? I don't even know anymore.
I don't know either.
That hurts when he
that
says
no longer apply into your situation, Adam. Because you
got a legalized corruption zone.
Adam, I got immediately.
That's my new podcast. It's about legalized corruption in America. It's called the Legalized Corruption Zone.
Hell yeah,
cool. Adam, I just want to say I got immediately into the role of
abuser,
playing every human that I interacted with as a teenager when they came into contact with my anxiety, and it was fun. And I admit it, I was drunk with power for once. So, and I apologize, but I wanted to ask you, and I think producer Ron is curious, and so is Andrew. What happened? Like what actually physically
can we have more
happened?
details?
Yeah, because
the panic attack itself.
Yes.
Do I need
I'll sign the earnestness horn for you.
Thank you. Yeah, please.
The very rare charitable earnestness horn.
Thank you,
yes,
Andrew.
it's a second person earnestness horn.
I just smashed the glass case and I pull the handle.
Because he knows that we're all jonesing for the riff.
Yeah,
and
I get it. That's what I do. I play the game as well, my friends. I understand. The symptoms of my anxiety were just like I said, I had all this shit on my plate. It felt like I couldn't do one thing without neglecting the other thing. Numerous issues with the children, schooling, this and that. Just like so much logistics of leaving town. My to-do list on my phone was just miles long. And it started getting me like so stressed out. And so I was going to work out, and I just started feeling like I was fucking dreaming. I felt like I had this like fog in my head, and I was like, this is weird. And I thought like, okay, maybe I haven't eaten anything. So I like ate something really quick, and I was like, that's still not working at all. And then like I truly started having like fast heartbeat. And then I think I started psychosomatically being like, my arm hurts. Like, this is a heart attack. So I was like, what the fuck? This is the symptoms. And I was like, then my voice in my head said, relax, chill out. You're just stressed. It's all good. Go to the gym. That helps you. And so I went to the gym and worked out, feeling this brain fog the entire fucking way and feeling nuts and feeling like I was dreaming and like kept being like, this feels like a goddamn dream. Then I came home and started getting nervous because it's still going. It's like 2 hours later. So I just like try to lay in the bed and calm down. Doesn't happen. So I like text my sister, who I always text if there's anything serious. And she's like, this is weird. Call your doc. So I did. And they were like, well, let's probably nothing. He asked me a few questions. He was like, but let's check it out. So I went in there and they did like, I was just freaking out. They did like blood work. They just did all sorts of shit. Long story short, I'm fine.
Yep.
And he's like, what's going on? And I was telling him all this stuff, and he's like, okay, maybe it's a panic attack. And he's like, I don't really know, but you're not dying. Your vitals are all good. Your blood pressure is good. You're totally fine. And I was like, all right. And then the next day, it happened again. But I knew what was going on. I knew it was just like maybe anxiety. And the next day it happened again. And it's just like this brain fog. And I get migraine headaches. Like I've had them my whole life. And when it's done, I realized after the fact, that's what it feels like. It feels like this dreamy sort of daze where you're out of it. Which is
called disassociation.
Is it really? Yeah. I liken it to being kicked in the fucking head. But you're just like, God damn, my brain is in a fog.
A disassociation, the actual like side effect is a disconnection and lack of continuity between thoughts, memories, surroundings, and actions and identity. And one of the very, very clear ways in which it is described as almost as if you are watching your life or a dreamlike state.
Wow.
Which is it's just a reaction to stress.
So yeah, that's what happened, dudes. But by day 3 of it, I was like, oh, great. So is now my new normal that at like 10:30 a.m. I start feeling this fucking dream fog for an hour and come out of it. And then, day 4 or so, I guess it went away and I just started like dealing with the new normal. But I've never had it. I worked on set with you guys. I know how hard we all fucking worked. I was stressed. I never had it.
Yeah, but we talked about this briefly, and I'm not trying to bring up anything you and I discussed privately,
Sure.
but we had talked about this is a big difference. Everything that we have done on that level has been collectively as a group. There's a lot more stress from what I've heard from you, from the fact that you are doing this collaboratively with other people, but ostensibly alone or away from the dynamic that you have done this within for almost 20 years,
Also, it's based on your book, which is a true, very personal story that's not jackassing around with your buddies pretending to fall down the stairs.
Sure.
It's like there's
It's
more
more
weight,
serious about loss
more weight to
death and
the
all
project
that.
itself. Yeah,
For sure. I did remark to Ben, obviously I'm flying to Atlanta tomorrow. There's a whole movie crew. There's 50 people that work on this. There's production offices, and I'm excited to go join the collaborative effort. But for the past month, it's been me with the director, doing props, doing script edits, doing art design. Like, what's this? What's that? And I remember I told Ben, those were decisions that we would all do together that were like fun, just like the business of like one character's a therapist and like the art director lady's like, okay, well, what school would the therapist have gone to? What's their last name? We need to make a diploma. At those who can't, that would be like, oh, fuck, yeah, okay, let's see. There's this type of person. They probably went to this college. We'd like have that conversation. It's just me ducking into a minute by myself while I'm with my family, emailing back a quick response that I think of. It's cool, but it's way lonelier than when we used to do shit together.
Right.
Yeah, and more exhausting. It's that many more decisions. You can't hand off decisions and save some brain space. So
or even
your brain
like,
is already taxed with like every single decision.
Yeah. So anyway, like that's what I've been dealing with. It was new to me. Never had a panic attack like that. And I clearly want to avoid them. It's a shitty thing. Knowing what it is now helps a lot. But I'm just curious, in the heat of the moment, when I can't call a shrink, when I can't lay down for 20 minutes, what are some things that you guys have used to...
Who wants to go first?
And
I'll go
please
first.
remember, while the earnestness horn has been sounded and you guys were nice to adhere to it, this is competitive.
Yes.
It is competitive. And now the earnestness horn is done.
Earnestness horn done. The reverberations no longer echo.
Well, first of all, I'm sorry to hear that that's happening for you. It was
So Andrew, you're going first.
I haven't started yet though. This is just pre-pandering.
Okay.
Yeah, it's buttering
Appreciate
buttering the bread,
and it's
so to speak.
disingenuous. So I knew that
I
was your
know how to
opinion.
speak Adam's language. Okay,
Okay.
Adam appreciates a little rub down before we get into the advice.
Sure.
A little verbal massage, so to speak.
Okay, too Epstein, too soon.
We're both of age. It's fine.
All right.
Too
go
Epstein
ahead.
too soon. Isn't that the title of your next album?
Shut up. Andrew, you go first.
All right, Adam. Here's my advice to you. You're stuck in the moment. You're gripped by these panic attacks. You think, oh my God, am I going to have a heart attack? Am I going to have a fucking aneurysm right here on set? You feel, that chill, that flush of the panic response of the brain, the evil brain kind of taking over your body's systems and making you think that something horrible is happening. Here's my advice for you. It's quick and it's easy. Embrace death. Embrace death. It's going to come for us all. A panic attack only works because it's making you fear that you might be dying. So just turn around and bump into the Grim Reaper and say, I'm ready to go, bitch. Are we taking an Uber or what? Let's get out of here.
Wow.
Just be ready to die at any and all moments
Wow.
on set, and see what that does for your panic attacks.
Well,
Hey.
Wow.
I'm
very
having a
Buddhist.
panic attack
Mhm.
now.
Very Buddhist of you.
Yeah, it is sort of a
I'm
zen like.
sort of having a fucking panic attack myself, Andrew. That is terrifying advice.
It's kind of a good story though. The writer died on set making this thing. They'll
Sounded like he
finish.
was daring the Grim Reaper, and then he died.
Yeah. Yeah.
Andrew, why are you laughing? That was.
That's his nervous laugh.
Oh, okay. I got you. That was.
Is that the Grim Reaper or is that Andrew? Or are they
That
one and
was-
the same at this point?
We share a 1-bedroom apartment. I'm
Adam,
sleeping on the couch.
You have Andrew's advice, and I got to say, the speediness of it is and
And the practicality. You don't need
Yes!
anything.
It's
You don't need
very-
anything
he's
to
tied it
embrace
up, he's
death.
put it in a bow.
You don't need any props.
and a little box with a bow on it. That's yeah.
That is true. That it was very concise, and we do know he goes very long in these, so that is appreciated.
Yeah.
Ron, do you want to
true.
go or do you want me to go?
I can go.
All right,
I
you're back.
I can
You're
go in
back.
the middle if
Yeah,
I
go
mean,
ahead.
you're not
You're
going to
up.
have a lot to follow.
Yeah, Ron. I like
That's
it.
that
Not
swagger.
much meat left on the bone. Because here's what I'm going to do for you, Adam. I was diagnosed with generalized anxiety disorder when I was like 24, 25 years old.
Sorry,
And my
big
therapist
fucking
gave-
whoop. I piss generalized anxiety disorder in the morning. I fucking eat that shit for breakfast. You want to come
That's
at me with a
gross.
fucking baby diagnosis?
You piss it and then you eat it for
Yes.
breakfast.
Yeah,
I don't
that
know.
is
I'm
gross.
Meander
That's
Daddy's
gross.
here.
I have here in my hands, I have the book that was given to me. It's called the Anxiety and Phobia Workbook. I have lots of advice. I'm gonna tell you the things that I loved, but I went
Yeah.
straight to the chapter about coping with panic attacks. I'm not going to worry about your regular anxiety or any other fears, just this specific thing that you talked about. So I'm going to go through the list of things that they say you should do, and I'm going to specify whether these are things that you can do while you're on set or not, and then let you choose. Okay.
Wow.
So
Okay.
number one thing they say, you can retreat, run away, get out of there. Obviously, if you're on set and like the tape is rolling, you're not going to be able to do that. So maybe not. Talk to another person. That's another, just to get yourself, like if you talk to somebody, you can help avoiding it. Move around or engage in physical activity. You've already talked about how that probably will help you, but again, these are probably not things you can do. Stay in the present. It really actually, for me, whenever I'm having a panic attack, it helps me to notice it and pay more attention to it. It actually helps me calm it down by focusing on its symptoms. Engage in a simple repetitive activity. I know that's a thing you already do anyway. You like to do.
Oh,
Countdowns, touching, OCD-like behaviors actually do help some people deal with anxiety.
Whoa, that's true?
That is true. Yeah. Unwrapping and chewing a piece of gum, just doing it very slowly, counting down from 100 by twos, just little simple things to like get your mind off of whatever is going on. I'm sort of jumping ahead here. I'm skipping over a couple, but express anger. You can actually just, I think Ben might do this one. You just shout fuck and it helps. It helps you calm down. Or, and this is one you can definitely do on set, because I've learned that David Duchovny's playing your father. You can experience something immediately pleasurable by just checking out the caboose on David Duchovny and contemplating
Wow.
that he's your dad.
Yeah.
And then there's a bunch more that I'm just going to share this with you at some point.
Yeah.
But the number one thing that I do that helps me the most is something called progressive muscle relaxation. And this is something you can do that nobody knows you're doing it. It's like doing Kegels for your whole body. So you start with your toes, you tense up your toes as much as you can, you hold for a count of 3, and then you release. And then you tense up your calf muscles and you tense them as tight as you can for 3 seconds, and then you release. And you keep working your way all the way up your body to where the last thing you're doing is you're like scrunching your face and squeezing it as tight as you can, and then you release. So progressive muscle relaxation, more than any of the things that the strategies that are in this book. That's my favorite. And except for the face part, nobody knows you're doing it whenever it's going on.
That's amazing, because when I had migraines really bad when I was a kid, one doctor was like kind of saying exactly that. He was like, but it was with calm. It wasn't like clenching your muscles. He was just like, just lay there. This is like, go to a dark room, lay down. It's migraine stuff.
Yeah.
But he's like, feel your toes being relaxed, feel your feet being relaxed, feel your ankles, and just like draw the relaxation up your body, out the top of your head. That was it's a similar thing that they
That's
were saying
very much,
then.
yeah, it is, the tensing up is part of it, but the relaxing and feeling the relaxation is really the more important part. So if I had to just pick one of all the advice, progressive muscle relaxation, it's a thing you can you can do it when you're laying in bed at night, when you're having a hard time sleeping. You can do it when you're sitting in a director's chair watching David Duchovny bend over and pick something off the
Ron,
floor.
You're really into this Duchovny thing.
He's amazing. I'm so excited for you. So, or when you're admiring Kumail's pecs, you enjoy something pleasurable and just tense up. Real,
but there just seems to be a theme to what you
there's a lot of sexual harassment.
Squeeze your buttocks really
I
hard.
Actually literally had to take a seminar
chair.
Against this online in order to participate.
Squeeze and just hold the muscle and feel it, and then just relax. So, all right, that's mine.
Ron, that was very good, and it was reporting from the trenches, and I appreciate it. That's going to be hard to beat. It's good advice, and a lot of it.
I know.
Can
I confess that I stopped short? There were actually 14 things that I could have told you, and I stopped because I had to leave something.
You threw once again. You are fucking advice net trolling. Like, you're just fucking throwing out the largest net and catching everything. And I'll tell you what, there's some whales of advice in there. There's some porpoise of advice. You don't care what you're dragging up with your.
You didn't want me to go last.
There's an endangered sea turtle in there. Ron doesn't give a shit. It's all going into the grinder.
Data needs his tuna fish.
Ron's operating a oceanic hot dog barge out there.
Andrew, you have been disruptive. You have been nonsensical.
Yeah.
And at times you have been angry today. And I do not co-sign it. I am actually against it. And I would like to appeal to Ron to edit you completely out of this episode.
Absolutely not.
I don't have time for that.
Also,
thank you, Ron.
The allegations being lobbied by Ben right now are Ben in a mirror from Act 1.
I'm not saying that I am not guilty of some of those crimes. As Mother Teresa once said, our crimes are everyone's. She said that.
Wow.
Did she? Wow.
We don't need to fact check it. It'll check out if we do.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
She said that there was some dust and shit in her eyes and in her mouth and stuff because it was pretty dusty where she was at. And she said something like that. So anyway.
Got it.
Adam, I am going to hit you real quick with some bad news.
Oh, boy.
I had my first panic attack at 15 years old. I have been plagued by them my entire life. I have tried every piece of dog shit advice that everybody gives me. Scrunch your face, breathe in circles of 4, and fucking jump up and down. And blah, 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 blah. You're fighting a freight train. And I'm going to tell you honestly and wholeheartedly, as long as you are in this environment and you are doing this, your body now has, I believe, works itself to a point of, and I don't like foofy new wave terms, but I think it works. You've worked yourself to where your nervous system is dysregulated now. You've worked yourself to a point where the alarm system is going off at points where you're not in any kind of danger. It's just trying to warn you that you are reaching a stress level. You're releasing a lot of cortisol. You're releasing a lot of things, trying to stop that. I think these things can work, but they satiate it for small periods of time. They're going to come back. The only advice I have for you, Adam, is to just fucking get through this. Just do your best. Get through it. Realize, take very, very solid comfort in your mind. Anchor yourself to the fact that your doctor did a blood workup and a look at your heart and you are physically okay.
Can I add in parentheses, this is the advice I gave to Ben when he had his last panic attack?
Exactly.
No further, nothing else to add.
You can't
Nothing
interject
else.
that, you dumb shit.
Okay.
You just did.
Okay.
And I'd like to move to Ron to strike that. Because the council knew he's menacing, and that's what he's doing. Anyway.
Jurors instructed to disregard.
Objection
However,
denied.
jurors will say they're disregarding, but remember it.
Yes. These are not going to go away. They're likely to not just go away. I have found that the only cure for them is a change in a lifestyle where you slow everything down and you give yourself 2, 3, 4 weeks maybe of time where you are giving yourself proper rest. You're incorporating proper exercise and proper nutrition back into what you're doing. At that point, your nervous system comes back to being properly regulated. But that is not a luxury you have right now. The only thing you can do, Adam, is just get through this. You will get the work done. You will get through it. You are healthy. You are fine. You are not going to die from these. They may be uncomfortable and maybe make you feel stifled at points, but you'll get through it. And then just make sure on the back end that you have designated some time when you come home. Obviously, you're going to have a lot to do with your family when you come back because of that break. But just even if you're worried, I got to get right back to stand up. I got to do this. I got to do that. Buddy, I'm telling you, trust me, as the scourge of my life, of like a thing I've been running from my entire adult life, make that time after this is done so that you can regulate yourself back to normal. That is the only thing that's going to get you back to that place. Just got to make sure when you come back, you have that time to get 8-10 hours of sleep a night. You have time to go to the gym, to be with your family, to like just relax. That's the only way this is going to go away. In the meantime, call us if you need anything. We're here to remind you you're okay, dude. You're getting through it. You're doing great things. Just get through it, you know.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
From the heart. Very real.
You started out not giving any advice, but then you found some. You found it along the way.
No, the advice is get through it.
Oh, no. I like
the
the part where you say give yourself some time after, get through it, but then give yourself some time to recover.
But you guys witnessed how bad it got for me during season 2 of Those Who Can.
Oh, you don't know. We cast a different Ben. You don't know that. We had one ready to go.
He was always on set in a secret trailer ready to go.
I would have loved to have met him. I'm sure he was cut rate and fucking ugly.
Man, you should have seen the obliques on Substitute Ben.
Like anybody
Holy
fucks
shit.
obliques. You know what they fuck? They fuck the mind and the heart.
Gotta clean
and the
those
penis.
gutters with a leaf blower, baby.
Yep.
Anyway, my point is that I knew at some point anything they were telling me, drugs, anything, was going to have an amount of time before it kicked in, and I didn't have that time. All I could do was cry to you guys, get through it, and then erase my schedule after it was done. And just get that time to get back to myself. It's going to be grueling at points, I would imagine, but that's honestly real dog, real heart to heart, alpha dog to alpha dog. You know what I mean?
You know what's terrifying? It's time to check in for your flight, like just on my phone right now. So shit's getting real.
You're gonna, this is going to be new. And I think some of it'll be exciting. And I will tell you, all those manic waves you saw me riding were me riding the waves of when the anxiety would hit and then it would pass. And so
you were
I started
on a high that it passed.
Yes, because I can finally enjoy this for a minute. Like
You're like a surfing dog out there.
Dude, you know what, Andrew? You when you do stuff
You're ending
like
the
that,
newscast with a minute and a half of fun.
when you do stuff like that, it just shows how jealous you were.
Before
of
we
me
cut
on
to
stage.
break, meet Honeycomb, a golden retriever who's learned how to ride a longboard. And there's Ben.
Anyway, you're gonna beat your head against the wall trying to find these things because they're gonna come back and you're gonna go, fuck, like, fuck, what the fuck is wrong with me? Nothing, legitimately nothing is wrong with you. You've just worked your body to where the alarm is going off. And the only way it's going to do it is when you work that stress level back below that level.
Yeah, I
right.
sometimes think of them like allergies. That it's like my body is having this huge reaction to a non-issue right now.
Yeah, man. That's a good way to look at it. Okay, guys, I very much
Time
appreciate
to vote.
this. Thank
You need to check in your flight or you're going to be in a C row. And you want to talk about a fucking panic attack. It's sitting middle seat back of a Southwest flight.
And you guys are talking about me and the problem. He has told you to embrace death. He's brought up every bit of anxiety.
This is real talk. This is real
Did you just
talk.
check in? Did you just check in?
You
No,
just
I didn't.
checked in.
I didn't check
You
in.
can. Yeah, go ahead. Check in.
No, guys.
Is it
guys,
Southwest? Are you all right?
it's
Is it gonna be
United.
okay? Is it going to be all right?
Economy. I'm not paying for it.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Yeah, take the seat they give
Showbiz
you.
life. United economy?
It's
Yeah,
so
not
great
first
knowing that
class, but you can smell it.
the stars
smell
of what
first
you
class.
wrote sit in first class.
The
but
stars
man
of what I wrote.
who created the world sits
The guy who's
Coach.
been kicked down the cast from position to the small role he's playing as a day player now.
just creating the entire idea of it. Yes.
As I will yell at all the gaffers, you're only here because of me. That's how I start every day.
Yes. And David Duchovny will laugh and laugh
Yes.
in your face.
Yes, indeed.
It's
going to be great, but I am only playing a small part. Okay,
Can
this
I,
is...
can,
Go ahead.
can I just, this is not advice.
Well, neither was what you gave before.
Shut up. I gave you truth. One thing that I want to address with this, and for people listening, earnestness horn. Oh, here's another one. I'm not afraid to pull the lever on it. One thing that I think is not taken into account enough is the fear that if that happens in front of other people, trying to hold it together, which elevates the anxiety. Like if you're in front of a group of people, you're at Video Village. That was a huge point, is I don't want to freak the fuck out in front of the cast members, fellow actors. Maybe if there's somebody famous on set that I look up to, there's that anxiety of that. Human beings are incredibly kind when it comes to anxiety. Like throw that. I just want to say, because no one addressed it, it's free advice out there. Just throw that away, dude. Like talk to somebody. If it does get bad enough in the off time, maybe ask somebody to go out and have a drink or something and Kumail or whoever, if anybody's there, and just tell them about it. And people will get that. Like that's the big thing. Don't worry about what other people's reactions are to the fact that you're feeling the effects of an incredible amount of stress. So I just
Good
want
point.
to
Good point. I'm glad you said that to our listeners. I agree with that wholeheartedly.
Yep.
Totally.
Anyway.
It is time to vote.
Yep.
If I had to hang out with any one of your three's advice, I would hang out with Andrew's advice. It's cool. It's fucking, it's like a middle finger. It's how I want to live. And when I get back, Andrew, I would like to hang out with you.
Woo!
I think you're the coolest of the three. However, as practical advice on set, I do think it
God
won't work.
damn it!
So you do not win.
The two sides. That's the duality of Andrew's advice.
And the
He'll
duality
thank
of
you.
man.
He'll thank you, but he'll shout at you too.
Right. Like his dad before him. It comes down to a Ben-Ron battle, and both of you spoke from places of real knowing, and I appreciate that. I do have to say, I think, while I appreciate everything that Ben said, I do think that maybe when Ron started saying the progressive body relaxation or whatever, that's something that I've had to do sort of in the past that I worked for me. So while I do understand what you're saying, Ben, that like a lot of it's dog shit, the feelings are going to happen and you just got to get through it. Very true. I've had some tricks in the past that have also gotten me through migraines as well. And so I responded to Ron's practical on-set advice versus your macro outlook, which I also appreciated. So seeing as the challenge was give me advice for what to do on set, I got to give it to producer Ron.
Oh, cool. Well, fuck you, Adam. And
fuck you, Ben.
Yes.
I hope they ruin your film.
Wow.
You are forgetting,
Contentious.
however, the advice that I gave to appreciate something immediately pleasurable.
I hope
i.e.,
you barf on yourself.
admire the beautiful
You guys are
people who
getting
are
weird.
in your movie.
One thing that we did on Those Who Can't, which was more pre-production but not production, but it did help, and I remember it, and I thought it was so good, was when we would just take those walks. And we'd go up the hill. It was at lunch hour, so we were on break anyway.
That was a steep ass hill.
But we would all just take a fucking walk
and clear your head.
And it wasn't even, maybe we'd talk about stuff that was work related, but then it would just drift off into life stuff. And it'd be 20 minutes of just walking and talking. And that helped me so much. And I do think that's something that I can do well.
And I'll tell you, it's hard to be in a fishing contest with producer Ron when Andrew and I showed up with a single pole to try to catch one fish and bring it to you, whereas producer Ron laid a dragnet out and has
can't blame ingenuity.
Entire coral reef of ideas with you, because it was insane. There was nothing left for me to say, Adam, other than to get fucking through it. I think you see that my back is against the...
I did not leave much on the bone for you, Ben. I apologize.
But Adam,
Ron has watched us. Ron came to win. Ron came to play, and Ron came to win. Tip of the cap.
Yeah. Welcome back, producer
I just
Ron.
want Adam to be
and this is why Ron will normally not be participating.
This is not competition for me. I'm just trying to help.
All joking aside, Adam, Andrew, and Ron, and myself, like, we all want to see you fail. So I think that, like, as three creatives ourselves who are going kind of nowhere, we don't want to see you do that.
Ron's winning awards.
I'm about to launch a new tabletop role-playing game, Ben. A new one.
Hey, congratulations, Andrew. That's really cool. Sounds like most of us have something really cool going on.
Well, I'm
right
going
now.
to Florida, guys, and I'm heading there after two hurricanes ravaged it because flights are cheap. And
you're going out for vacation?
No.
Oh,
we'll talk about it later.
Well, thanks, guys. I appreciate all of this advice. It's going to be great. It's going to be fine.
Well, good luck.
Adam, I want to say this. It is real easy in this industry to get jealous of folks who have friends who have opportunities come up. I have never felt that for you because I know how fucking hard you work, and I know how beautiful this story is. And I believe truly that this will help people with their own grieving. And I could not be more proud of you as my friend. And as somebody I've worked with a lot. It's cool to watch happen, and I can't wait to go to the theater and see it.
Thanks, man. It'll be Denver premiere.
Can we give Ben a little consolation prize for best platitudes? That was really nice. I'm not platitudes.
We can't. We can't, but our FanDuel.
Friends at FanDuel?
Yeah.
Bing, 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 bing. Do
I get $100 in free betting tokens?
Well, the
anything
bet
to
popped
keep
up 10
you
minutes
hooked.
ago, and it was
anything
like
to keep you hooked.
No, I appreciate it, Ben.
overextended.
The movie is called "See You When I See You." It's going to be great. I'm going to get through it. Thanks for this practical advice.
Let's listen to some live stand-up comedy from our live comedy show that happens. You can come and check it out whenever you want. Hey, the last Saturday of every month, we hype it all the time. It's called the Grawlix. You should come and see it. And as much as I hate to do this, why don't we listen to a clip from fucking Adam Caton Holland?
Yeah, dudes.
And since it was his episode, I know, Andrew, I shouldn't do it, but I'm going to throw the little guy a boner.
Appreciate it.
And just say, here, doggy, chew on this boner. So here we are. Let's listen to some stand-up comedy from Adam Caton Holland. And when we return, Los Terceros, you are on deck. It is your time. Get ready.
Third actors, you're on deck.
We've got plugs. We've got all kinds of shit. More shows coming. Stay tuned.
I went to my kid's orientation for his preschool the other day. My 3-year-old's kid, his orientation for his class. He goes to this very mom and pop, like co-op-y, hippy dippy kind of school. There's a lot of parental involvement, right? So I have to do all these like tasks at the school. And it was orientation for the parents, and we're all sitting in a circle, and the teacher informed us that we have to do 7 helping days this year. Fucking 7. Listen, I'm all good for 1, 2, 3 times going into my 3-year-old's class, seeing how he learns and plays. But 7 times, I've got to go do the job that I'm paying way too much fucking money for? No, thank you. So I learned that fact. And then we start going around in the circle, introducing ourselves to one another, me and all the other parents. And they were like, all right, as means of orientation, like, why don't you say your name, your kid's name, and how you used to like to play when you were a kid? This one guy gets up there and he's like, well, this is my name, and this is my kid's name. And, you know, when I was a kid, I guess I just was really obsessed with art. I just had to make art all the time. And you know what's funny? I still do. This other woman's like, this is my name, this is my kid's name, and I was always taking things apart and seeing how they worked. Classic engineer brain. Yep, fucking classic. Got to me, I was just like, my name's Adam, my son's name is Ellis, and growing up, I used to lose entire days fantasizing about all the ways that I could kill my neighbor Ryan. But I guess in the end, I just didn't have the balls. And now I only have to do 2 helping days.
And we are back, thanks to the magic of podcasting. Woo!
Hey, third actors, where the fuck have you been? Oh, I know.
Get in here. Third act hug.
You've been waiting
third act
in the
group
Coors
hug.
Light green room to fucking hang out with us.
Coors
Finally,
Light green
get
room.
on in here, third
The
actors.
Coors Light Third Actors Lounge.
Yeah.
If you call today, win tickets to hang out with Ben and Andrew in the
that's
Coors
right.
Light
You want a
Third
big
Act
baby. You're in the
Lounge.
Coors Light chill area, the chill zone. And of course, you're back. We're going to be giving away tickets right now to see Ace of Base. They're going to be playing
I'd take those
live
tickets.
at the Sensodyne Ballroom this weekend. So you're going to want to go out there and check that out.
It's just Ben and Andrew. Adam, once confronted with his own vulnerability, ran off of set.
Yep.
And he's not here for the third act.
Mm-mm.
But thank you, Adam. Adam, we did want to thank you for bringing...
No, don't thank Adam. We want to thank Adam's panic attack.
Yes, we thank Adam's panic attack
Thank
and
you.
also FanDuel. Let's also thank FanDuel for this one. And thanks for your support, FanDuel. I'm sure you're partially responsible for Adam's panic attack.
So many
because
panic attacks.
He's laid it on
So
the
many
line.
panic attacks in the world, responsible by being able to bet on everything.
Let's bet on Adam's next panic attack when we get off of this. I bet we could fucking
Totally.
money line that bad boy.
Especially since we're so instrumental in how we can manipulate them.
Let's lay a little chalk on that one. But yeah, thanks, Adam's panic attack. Andrew, how is your voice feeling? I've been worried about it because you've been screaming at freight trains during the evening again.
And well, you have your therapy, I have mine. And mine's pretty effective.
Can you drop it for us? Can you do it?
Screaming at freight trains. That actually sounds pretty desirable. I'm
It
like,
does right now.
I could really
I would love
uncork
to.
a few.
The last month I've had, let me scream at some freight trains.
You
for a
know,
while.
when we go to Maine, not to hint to one of our plugs, maybe we can find a freight train to scream at. But okay,
dude,
here
I'll
we go.
get you. I'll get you. You can touch a freight train in Maine if you want, dude. We'll take you right up to the tracks.
Filthy.
All right.
Plugs.
Oh, I love it. I never get sick of that song. I play it a lot. I listen to it while I work out.
That's pretty gross.
Yeah.
Plugs. And I can make you a workout mix, dude.
Yeah,
I'll make you a plugs workout mix.
That'd be awesome.
Plugs. What do you have?
Everybody listening in the Denver area, I will be headlining Comedy Works twice next month. I will be headlining Comedy Works South December 1st. If you're listening to this when this episode comes out, that's this coming Sunday. And then I will be headlining Comedy Works Downtown on December 18th. I would love to see your faces out there. Let's fill the room. Let's have a good time. So yeah, Comedy Works. You can get your tickets for that. Andrew, what do you got?
I have a show December 5th. I'm headlining Second Chance Comedy at the Lincoln Center in Fort Collins. I haven't performed in Fort Collins in a minute, so come out and see me there. It doesn't matter if you drink or not. It's going to be a great comedy show, great lineup. I'll be closing it out at a cool venue. That's December 5th. And after we're done screaming at freight trains, Ben and I will be doing a comedy at Cumpston Hall in Maine on December 13th.
Comedy for Cummy is back, Mainers. We're doing it in Monmouth, Cumpston in Monmouth. We're going to be in Monmouth, Maine. It's going to be so good. Andrew, you're coming with me.
I don't know most of those words.
The last time we went, we rode four-wheelers, and you got all kinds of stinging nettles on you in the woods, and we had to pick a tick off of you. And I can't wait to
You
do
never
it again.
pick a tick off. You never pick it up.
No, we didn't.
I
But
think I have friends
hoping.
driving up from South Jersey. That's what, a 6-hour drive? So you don't have an excuse not to show up. If you are in that quadrant of the United States, you should probably come see us in Maine.
Yes, you should. Anywhere on the Atlantic seaboard, you have no excuse. Come and see us. The theater is amazing. I mean, this place is beautiful. The show is going to be amazing. And then, as always, come see the Grawlix live at the Bug Theater this Saturday. Work off all that turkey with your 3 favorite turkey dicks. We're all going to be there. Full strength Grawlix. I'm going to be stuffing the bird on stage. We don't wash the bird anymore. We've learned that spreads germs even more. But this month, headlining, Troy Walker is going to headline it. One of our favorites of all
Denver's
time.
favorite son, Troy Walker, is back.
And then first appearance, I believe, on the show. This is the first time, but it's kind of crazy because this person is so funny. Emma Cricket is going to be joining us as well.
One of the best names in comedy.
It's so good.
I'm
But
over
Emma's
here
also-
saddled with Andrew Orvidal, and she gets Emma Cricket? What
Yeah.
the fuck,
Yeah.
dude?
Well, that's-
Andrew Orvidal.
Yep.
Ugh.
Yep. No one knows how to say it. But anyway, you can get your tickets now to the Grawlix and all of these shows we mentioned, as always, down there in the show notes. And we would love to see you out. Make sure you say hi, Savers, if you're out there.
Say hi. I'll do the quick credits.
Can you beat your time?
What's my old time? I think it's 9.2 something, 9.25.
I don't remember. Do you?
I know it's 9 seconds and change.
All
9
right.
seconds
Well, let's
and
say
change.
9.25.
All right, let
Can
me
he
try
beat
this.
it?
Let me see if I can break the Orvidal barrier and come in under 9.
All right,
okay?
breaking the Orvidal barrier. Orvidal himself, he's in a league of his own. Here we go.
I come walking out slow motion through the smoke. I'm wearing like some metallic bodysuit. Yeah. We're in the desert, the only place where speed records can be broke.
Yes, that's it. He's actually, not many people know we're doing these credits right now from the Bonneville Salt Flats right now.
Yeah.
All right, Andrew, are you ready? I'm going to give you the
Okay,
countdown.
not yet. Let me
Clear them out, dude. Clear the pipes.
I haven't even had coffee today or anything. Okay.
All right, here we go. Here we go, Andrew.
Got to warm up the tires.
All right.
Okay.
Getting ready.
I like that I'm doing the quick credits, but I extend the quick credits with nonsense by easily triple to quadruple length credits.
Just stop
It's a
it.
gift.
Just stop
It's
it.
a gift.
Are you ready? Here we go. 3, 2, 1, go.
Thanks to producer Ron Doyle, and big thanks to Mike Henderson for your help recording our live show. Theme music by Charlie Continental. Social media at Grawlix Comedy. Supporters get ad-free episodes and other perks on patreon.com/GrawlixSaves.
9.55.
Damn it.
Super fast.
I mean, that's fast. That's Micro Machines fast right there. That's some
Damn
good
it.
stuff, man.
I'm going to crack that 9-second barrier. I will crack it.
Yes.
What are we doing
You have a
next
stroke on
episode?
on the show.
Yeah, well, he died doing what he loved, the quick credits.
The quick credits were always what he loved.
My head just explodes like a grape.
Well, what a wonderful, wonderful set of credits. And what are we doing next episode?
We haven't recorded it. We don't know yet.
Oh, yeah. Well, I guarantee you it's going to be special. And more than anything, all I want to say to you all is, everybody, have a great day with your families out there. Enjoy the time together. Hopefully,
Or
you're
not.
getting
Maybe you don't. Maybe
you don't
you're
do
not
it.
hanging
Maybe
with your
you don't
family
celebrate
and
it.
enjoy.
Either way, just enjoy a day
that.
to yourself or enjoy some time with loved ones. Either way, we love you. We are thankful for you all. Thank you for being a part of this podcast. And more than anything, I'm thankful for Play Us Out, Charlie!
Are there any heroes left at all? A few strong souls that pick us up when we fall down. We look around
My dick stinks.